by who you are, how deep do you want me to go with? Go deep? Okay. My name is Salvador. I grew up in the city of Compton. My father went to prison when I was 4 years old. So growing up, I was always kind of like subconsciously looking for that father figure. And so I would do pretty much anything to be accepted. I was shot in the leg for attempted robbery. And then that's when I asked myself the question, is this it? Is this how I'm going to be remembered as somebody that I'm not? I'm not this person that does these things, but because I'm wounded and I wanted to prove myself and get this respect, I did things that weren't me. And so I was sentenced to 12 years in prison. In that sentence, I really started to discover who was I really.
I was arrested when I was 14. When I came home, I really wanted to connect with individuals that were still inside and provide them with the support that I lacked when I was in there. So when I heard that California Justice Leaders would allow me to do that, I applied, and then here I am.
The California Justice Leaders Project is a project of Impact Justice, part of our innovation side. At Impact Justice, one of our pillars is how do we keep people out of the system and how do we ensure that they get the resources on the back end to prevent them from going back. That's where our California Justice Leaders came from, is the idea that when young people are exiting the system after a period of incarceration, how do we ensure they receive the resources, support, mentorship, and professional and personal development that provides them a stable ground. So what we're doing is we're taking our individuals that are formerly incarcerated, bringing them into our AmeriCorps program, our California Justice Leaders Project, and providing them with professional and personal development and giving them a job to develop skills. What they're doing is working with individuals that are inside. They are now serving that individual. Our members are actually part of California Justice Leaders because of their experiences, not despite them. They are actually only qualified to be a California Justice Leader because they've been involved with the system and because they've been incarcerated.
I think the general public lacks understanding when you're coming back into the community of how scary it can be. I think people also lack understanding of there's a lot of times that people self-sabotage when they're coming home because they're scared to re-enter into society. It's a whole new world for them. They don't know what to expect. They don't have a good support system.
So when we see our members working with these young people, right, and a lot of our members did not have this type of support. And when they have that support, they are so much less likely to be reincarcerated. You hear about this cycle of coming out and not having support and going back in, that dramatically declines.
The most rewarding part of CJL would be the impact that we make in people's lives. Not just, the people we work with, but each other.
You get so attached to these kids, like almost like they're my son. I have such a strong connection to them and just the empathy that I have for them.
Who says that a man's supposed to be tough? Who says he's not supposed to feel empathetic? Who says he's not supposed to be sensitive? Because that's who I am. And so what a lot of people told me that were my weaknesses, I started to see they were actually my strengths.
Before members even get to that December date, so that last month of their year of service, right, we really want to make sure that we're already having these conversations is what's going to happen after California Justice Leaders.
My long-term goal is I'm going to school for psychology, and one day I want to have my own private practice.
I'm currently enrolled in Cerritos College, Student for Justice Administration.
For me personally, is making amends for a lot of the things that I've done, and I know it can never pay back what I've done, but it's a start. I gave myself a 3-year window of service, and I'm on my last year, but I don't know if I'm gonna stop.